You see, I go with the wind, the places I've been, I keep them within, holding on to a feeling so strong.
Well, hello guys, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina, and here at Happy Healthy Heroine, or hero if you're a guy, we like to talk about travel, about self-development, about following your dreams, and I feel like travel really is one of the best educations you can get, especially when it comes to traveling alone, which is what we will be talking about today. And I personally have had a lot of experience traveling, as you guys can see in the map behind me. So I really like to share my expertise with you guys, or rather don't do some of the things that I have done and now know better. So I hope that these types of videos will be helpful to you guys, because I really like to encourage people as much as possible to just get out there, to try new things, to see the world outside of just the little box that you've grown up in. So having said that, that actually brings me to my first tip of traveling alone when you're absolutely petrified, is to choose a destination that is not too far out of your comfort zone. So this really will depend on how much travel you have done before, whether it was with family or with friends, the kinds of countries that you've been to, because I beg you, if you haven't traveled outside of North America, which is where I think most of my viewers are from, and you want to go to India by yourself when you haven't even stepped foot anywhere else, and you have anxiety issues, that's probably not the best idea. I would recommend going somewhere that is just outside the comfort zone. Like, yes, you could, still stay in the country where you're from and go to another state or province here in Canada, it's called. I personally would advocate for going to a new country, because even if you go somewhere like Europe, and it is similar to North America, there are still just enough differences to kind of make you feel like you're having an international sort of experience. So if you are English speaking and want that next step, but still fairly similar to what you're used to, I would recommend places like maybe the UK or Australia, New Zealand, because these are the types of places that do offer very different experiences, but the dominant language still is English. You won't have any issues communicating with people. Things are fairly straightforward. They're first world countries. And I feel like that's a really great place to start if you haven't traveled a lot before. Now, my second tip of traveling alone and not being so scared is to do your proper preparation. Even though surprises can absolutely happen, and probably 100% will happen while you're traveling, it does bring a person so much confidence to at least do a bit of research and have all the resources you need for when you get to your destination. Whether you want to do a whole bunch of Google searches or get yourself a guidebook for the destination that you're going to, my personal favorite would probably be Lonely Planet or Rough Guides. I find that they give you the easiest sort of explanation of what to expect and all your most important things. So those are my recommendations, but you can also watch videos like the ones on my channel that give you a bit of insight into the country that you're going to and see other people's experiences, because at the end of the day, I think that's usually the best advice that you can take, is from somebody who's actually been there and wants to do similar things that you do on your trip. And lastly, on this point, I really want to reiterate how important it is to write down your emergency numbers on paper, always have them with you, and any addresses that you need, like the address of your hotel, if let's say you're staying in a foreign country where English isn't the first language, make sure it's written down in the local language. Write down any emergency contacts, you know, even keep in mind like where's the closest hospital that I can go with my insurance when I'm in that city, or you know, what's the number that I call if you're able to have a cell phone on you. Just things like that. Make sure that you have them written down on physical paper, because what are you going to do if, let's say, your phone battery dies or something breaks or malfunctions? If you have all of your information in your phone, like, you're screwed. The proper preparation really is one of the best keys and some of the best advice that I can give you guys if you're traveling for the first time, because not only does it help build up your resources for when you're on your trip, you'll probably enjoy it that much more because you already have a good knowledge of what's available to you, but it gives you that extra boost of confidence. And at the end of the day, that's what traveling alone really takes, is a belief in yourself and the confidence to rely that no matter what happens, you will find a way to figure it out. Now, my third tip for being less afraid when traveling alone might be a little bit controversial, but I don't think it should be, is to jump on a tour. Now, I know some people might be like, wait, that's not traveling by yourself, that's traveling with a group. And yes, if you do plan on traveling with a tour from the time that you land to the time that you leave for home, well, yeah, that's not exactly traveling by yourself. But what I've often done when I've traveled by myself is that I'll pretty much spend half the time by myself, and then the other half I'll jump on a tour, because a lot of times I find that tours actually save you money depending on where it is you want to go. Like when I went to Romania this past trip this last year, it would have cost me so much money to get a train or a bus ticket to take me all the way up to, I think it's like the Sinai region where they have all the beautiful like castles and Transylvania and all that kind of stuff, to first of all like figure out all of my own transportation in between all those places. You usually get a discounted rate to get into the attractions with when you're going with a group. You also get to have a tour guide that explains everything to you, so you don't have to be like, you know, researching it all on your own. Like, there's just so many conveniences that come with tours that I, as an experienced traveler, still really enjoy. Now, keep in mind, not all tour companies are made equal. Some are literally just these like big buses going to the main tourist attractions, walking around like a herd of cattle. I think I had actually mentioned this before, but if you are just starting to watch my videos, something that you might not know about me is that I actually worked as a travel agent for about a year of my life. So I actually have quite a bit of experience in dealing with different tour companies, and I know what a lot of them offer or who their ideal sort of clientele is. So if you're kind of like me and want a more local sort of experience and don't want to spend a lot of money either, I highly recommend Intrepid. They have quite a diverse amount of trips all over the world that are centered around those kinds of values. So I would recommend really taking, you know, some extra time on top of the tour time to explore destinations by yourself and have the tour just be a portion of your trip. But it is great because you are traveling with a brand new group of people. You're seeing places you probably otherwise maybe wouldn't on your own, because sometimes it is hard to go to certain places totally by yourself. So that is just one of my tips to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever taken a tour by yourself and what your experience was, because I think it's just a really awesome way to see the world. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. I'm always trying to encourage people to step outside that comfort zone, to go to places that they have never been before, and to also gain a new kind of confidence in themselves, because that really is what happens when you travel by yourself. You really gain a new respect and confidence for yourself, and it really filters into other areas of your life as well. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention is that if you guys are not already following me on Instagram, you should, because I have a lot of stuff coming up in the next few months where I will be prepping for a trip and doing some pretty exciting things. So if you want more behind the scenes type of content, I post much more regularly on Instagram than I do on YouTube, so make sure you're following me on there. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because I am trying to post at least once a week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, and until I see you guys next time, keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.